Bienvenidos al juicio. Vamos con él. A ver qué tal se nos da, tío. Tengo miedo. Hay un montón de asientos vacíos. Esas dos personas fueron asesinadas al mismo tiempo. Y Nekomaru no está aquí tampoco. Nekomaru no está participando realmente. Si está vivo, tú deberías haberle invitado.
No.
¿Por qué te importa? ¿Por qué te importa? Ahora empecemos. Es el principio de un juicio muy esperado. Por favor, disfrutar el contenido con vuestro corazón. No entiendo muy bien, pero algo de corazón. La música crema. Y también la danzarina tradicional. La persona que vota a esas dos personas está entre nosotros. No puedo creerlo, definitivamente. Pero lo crea o no es irrelevante. A no ser que descubra la verdad, no sé qué va a hacer escapar de este infierno. Es el porqué, deberé intentarlo, ¿no? No importa el coste. Por nuestro bien, por el bien de nuestros amigos. Por el bien de Yoko y Buki. Guardamos 20 veces. ¡Oh! Vamos a poner habilidades. Incrementa la vida, ¿no? No, el foco. Vale, eso me gusta. Puedo poner menos 2, ¿no? O sea, puedo disparar mucho más rápido. Ahora puedo coger una habilidad más rápido. Esto hace que cuando haga cosas para que se vuelva de mi lado, sea más poderoso, o sea, se mueva más todavía. Eso ya lo tengo equipado. La habilidad de giro. Ah, ahí está. Y puedo ponerme esto también. O sea, todo lo que tengo desbloqueado lo tengo puesto. Perfecto.
Now then, let's begin. During the class trial, if you vote correctly, then only I'll punish everyone oh well, who cares about this boring...
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Estaba dormido todo el caso.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're
Tampoco lo
fine.
sabe.
Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head?
Puta.
Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside.
Ay, dejar de hablar de chorradas. Vamos a empezar con el caso.
We shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 in the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the
Nosotros
incident
dormíamos en nuestras cabañas
happened.
porque no nos permitían dormir en el hotel.
Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms.
Mikan había venido para
We
avisarme de eso.
immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And
Efectivamente.
then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time.
Sí.
When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was
Lo que apareció en la pantalla fue esto, que
a
estaba
video
haciendo
of
desde
someone
la...
wearing a
¡Ha
hospital
sido
gown and a
Mikan!
head bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
¡Ha sido Mikan! No me lo puedo creer. Pero no tiene sentido. No, no, no puedes. Ha sido Mikan. Pero entonces... ¿Ha sido Mikan? No me lo puedo creer.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded. But it was too late.
No me puedo creer que ha sido tu
By the
Mikan,
time
¿en
I
serio?
arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue. And unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. The only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone. So I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's, and not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is
Eso
true?
lo sabía. Este hijo de puta va a hacer intentar que yo...
Sorry,
Me tengo que
I'm
defender.
only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body,
¿Ves?
then you could be lying as much as you want right now. Right?
Lie?
Está diciendo que podría
Why would I
admitir todo lo
lie?
que quisiera.
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Claro.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
Coño, ¿y cómo lo voy a probar? A ver. Motel room, scrap, surveillance cámara, invitation. Movie invitation, ¿no? O sea, bueno, a ver.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
Hajime's testimony is a lie.
¿No?
And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Hajime es el único testigo.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously,
iba a mentir
because
él.
he's the killer.
Porque es el asesino.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
Allí me
The
mató a
fact that the
ambas.
bodies were imitating the movie
Imitación de movie. Ay, amigo.
means it probably is Hajime's fault.
¿Quieres? Este tío es malo porque es un imbécil, pero tampoco es tan malo porque me está dando él mismo la forma de librarme.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie. And the fact that Ibuki hung...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny it. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime...
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
Ya está.
No,
Tú mismo
that's
me has
wrong.
dicho que guardara el ticket para hacer esto, ¿verdad? O sea que más o menos me has ayudado en este punto a ser...
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Es que eres un tío rarito, hijo puta.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony,
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by...
Yeah, I'm positive.
Ibuki lo hizo.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
mató
A
a
murder
Hiyoko.
coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have
Muy
been
poco
gone
tiempo.
for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
No fue.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue,
fue el
right? If
asesino,
they
fue la
blocked the
propia
door
Hiyoko.
from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
Todavía estaba dentro.
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Nikon, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
Tío, ahora dudo de todo el mundo. Gundam podría haber sido. Gundam podría haber matado y luego haber salido y haberle dicho a un hámster que pusiera la batuta, como estaba puesta la otra.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
Me too!
Hey! Why are you talking like... You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making that joke.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the
cuando has
people
dicho
who don't
Nekomaru,
have
eso no tiene
alibis.
sentido. ¿Nekomaru es Monokuma? No entiendo eso.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
Hay algo que no me cuadra ahí. Emitirás para el globo.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. They tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
Esto no lo puedo coger, ¿verdad? No.
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
No sé cómo puede ser este, ¿eh?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
Pues no es darle la razón.
Crap! The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong!
Wait a second. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you...
Entonces tiene más posibilidades de ser otra gente, ¿eh? Puede ser
First of
Kazuichi de
all,
verdad.
didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so?
Sí.
It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Sí.
Are you saying
Para que la
the
gente pensara que era una
drumstick
trampa.
was it then I totally fell for that fucking
Apologize to Miss Sonia. And me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no side.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created...
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable
Y como ya no
speed
pienso
for
mal
a
de él, pienso mal de
slowpoke
esta.
like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Sí.
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on
Puede
its
que
own.
fuera matada antes.
Here, I have proof.
Entonces
A
papel.
scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the battalion?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
Si sé lo que es, si lo he visto allí, es un trozo de estos. No me jodas, que tengo que poner esta, que nunca me acuerdo cómo se llama. ¿Empezará por R? No creo que empiece por R. Pero tampoco creo que empiece por L. ¿Empezará por W? Creo que empieza por W. Vale. Entonces no puede ser lo. Tampoco puede ser este. Wardrobe, ¿puede ser? Sí. La E no puede ser, entonces. Tú vas a chocar con esta. Hostia, se está liando, ¿eh? Se está liando, colegas. War. No. Tampoco es esto. Mierda, hay muchas. Wallpaper. Se han chocado dos que no quería que se chocaran. Me cago en la madre que los trajo. ¡Te van a chocar! ¡Joder, no he llegado! Necesito una P. Wallpay. Uf, casi. Pay. Necesito una R. Ahí está la R. ¡No choques, no choques! Vale, menos mal, joder, lo que me ha costado. Wallpaper. No era wallpaper. Sí.
In the music venue storage room.
Lo encontramos ahí
There
en
was
el
also a
almacén.
tear
Le
along
falta
the
un
edge of
trozo.
Right.
Y era negro. O sea, tiene que ser
See?
eso.
I see.
So the scrap, and what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of...
No, yo tampoco lo entiendo muy bien. A lo mejor está envuelta detrás de eso. ¡Otro más! Ah, no, este es este, vale. Supuestamente ahora giro más rápido. Esto es frenar y saltar es este, vale. Joder, se nota el cambio de velocidad, ¿eh? Hostia, vaya leñazo. ¡Anda, que tengo vida! No me había fijado. Si la salto, hacen preguntas. Estaba oculto, claro que sí, estaba oculto. No fue llevado allí, simplemente estaba oculto. Ay, mierda, eso tenía que haber saltado. No entiendo muy bien por qué tengo que saltar esas mierdas, pero bueno, hay que saltarlas. Para que hagan las preguntas, seguramente. De wallpaper. Claro, porque si no, no habríamos encontrado... Está oculta detrás del wallpaper. Uy, uy, cuidado. Esto está guapo, ¿eh? Es una tontería, pero está guapo. Como un minijuego así graciosete. ¡Hostia! No lo he visto. Hijo... ¡Ah, son checkpoints! Yo pensando que era algo malo y son checkpoints, simplemente. ¡Ueje! ¡Ueje! ¡Ole! Checkpoint, pregunta. ¡Cubrió el pilar! Claro, estaba en el pilar y la había cubierto para que no se viera. No me he dado cuenta, pero claro, tiene sentido. Y se acabó. Claro.
It's all coming together.
No me había dado cuenta, tiene sentido completamente.
Got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a...
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the...
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to...
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece, and because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
The crime itself would be much easier to pull off, since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned
Are you kidding me?
Hey! Don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy.
I don't eat moss ball. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
No es muy difícil de saber por qué. Ojete guapo. O para dejar a su cómplice escapar. Ah, este.
I see.
Para cubrir cuál había sido
The
primero,
reason
cuál
the
había
killer
sido después.
imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the...
Then, Hyoko was actually killed
Yo también pienso
before
que
it?
Hyoko
A
fue
valid
asesinada.
line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
Ay, no me digas que tú has podido ser.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand.
no puede haber sido.
Bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was killed. That would mean Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How lucky. Your opponent, man, he's being annoying. First and foremost, you claim... How can a low-class creature with no psychic...
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the...
It seems you... You're one...
Tiene sentido, porque tenía sangre en las zapatillas. Y eso significa haber andado sobre la sangre. Tiene sentido, tiene sentido. Gluten de Stolz. Yo creo que es esta.
When Hyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
Sí.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Esto es Blood de Stolz.
Were there even any footprints at the crime
Pero
scene?
quiero romper cosas de estas, tío. Así que voy a romper unas pocas.
Maybe her feet were on
Uy,
the
ya se me
floor.
acaba el gauch.
But she was like sitting or something. So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
¿Qué dices?
Weak, I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart!
Venga, vamos a hacerlo otra vez.
When Hyoko
Para tener
died,
más cosas
Ibuki's
rosas.
feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walk?
If her feet, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there even any footprints of the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor, but she was like sitting or something. So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
Weak, I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart!
Vale, ya hemos hecho bastantes ruidos. Bueno, vamos a hacer otro ruido blanco
When
de esos.
Hyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there even any footprints of the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor, but she was like sitting there. So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
Weak, I say! It doesn't even pierce my
Ah, sí,
heart!
ya he roto bastantes, tío.
When Hyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Ya está.
I agree with that.
Bien, Sonia, bien. Creo que sabes de lo que hablamos.
Just as Sonia said, that's something.
Hemos hecho eso para
was blood.
intentar... Hay un logro de romper ruidos blancos, ¿vale? Entonces
That
tenía que
is not
romperlo.
Ibuki's blood, and it's Hyoko.
Y así voy
Hyoko's
adelantando.
only wound was a fatal slice on her neck.
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Tú estás muy así, no sé por qué. ¿Eh?
Is that it? A shepherd dressed...
Esta parte nunca me gusta. La del rebooter, que es complicada. Así que vamos a ver si consigo hacerlo bien.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? But, are you sure? You're so frightened you can't... However, the time for...
Vamos allá. Tengo habilidades para reventarte el culo. Joder, demasiadas.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there.
¡Sí había!
Just about. Did you see a nice nightmare? You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just a... Did you see a
Puedo
nice
hacer todo a la
nightmare?
vez. Gandel. No puede ser.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood
Ahí
on
está.
the...
Allow me to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor...
Don't say such foolish things!
Yes,
Sí, la tenemos.
if you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time.
Exactamente.
Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of
Exactamente. Para cambiar
Even
el
if
orden
they're
del
able to
asesinato,
hide
para que pensamos
Hyoko's
que el
body,
asesinato había sido
it'd be
el otro.
bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wound.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
aside from Nikon, none of us were aware of that
Claro,
fact.
ninguno de
So
nosotros
the
sabría eso.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater.
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object. Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before...
It appears that it is wise and fine then. But regardless of good or evil...
Can't you just shut up and back...
Now then, let us resume our...
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Again?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide...
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Nagito? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything.
Creo que alguien le dijo
Ibuki's the
que cometió
killer.
suicidio.
She wouldn't have
Porque
been
estaba
able to
enferma.
falsify
Y
the
se lo creyó.
sequence of the
Y le
murders,
hizo caso y
right?
ella no
After
quería
Hajime saw the
suicidarse, pero
hanged
lo hizo por
body,
eso.
the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself, remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
There's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad.
Vale, la habéis dejado claro, ¿no?
What
¿Quién
the
es?
heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind.
O sea, que al final no se ha matado, ¿no?
If Ibuki
sea, no
did
se ha
commit
suicidado.
suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
¿Cómo es lo que vio?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
No, no, no.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do what.
Eso lo hizo en la sala de
Then
conferencias.
our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually...
What
Sí, fue un
time did
streaming.
Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the
Una
hospital,
emisión en directo.
right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person...
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi...
Es que podría ser de mi tío.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
right before.
A ver, tengo que ver las alibis. Vale, esta sí que tiene un esto. Estuvieron separados durante un poco. A ver, ¿puede ser Mikan en lo último?
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Eso no lo voy
I
a...
think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
Vale.
No, that's wrong.
Mikan sí tiene, porque estábamos con nosotros, conmigo, vamos, yo me lo encontré y tal.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Uy, mi novia, que se acaba de enterar de esto.
Too much info.
Demasiado... Oye, perdóname, Chiaki. No,
tell me not to
Chiaki,
take
por
condition
favor.
of improved.
No, luego te lo cuento.
And we went to the hospital together afterwards.
Chiaki, no te...
So we were together
Madre mía, mi
until
novia.
right before the
Se ha
announcement.
enfadado un poquito.
I get it.
Creo que
You
no
guys
se
have
está nada bien eso.
alibis.
If that's the case,
madre.
the killer must be
Ay, madre,
someone
que salía.
else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has been...
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
No,
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence,
exactamente.
hiding their alibi in the process.
Exactamente.
Was that
Mikan...
the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
Claro.
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Sí. Pero ¿cuál podría ser esa intención? Eso no, eso me vuelve loco, no sé lo que puede ser. Si ese es el caso, ¿estamos cayendo en la trampa? Sí. ¿Se va a parar aquí? ¿Se va a parar aquí? No fastidies. Oh, fuck.
Hiya!
Stop it!
¿Mosball, que son bolas de musgo? A ver. Ah, la oportunidad de reclamar tu honor.
What a disappointment!
Hablan de chorradas, tío. Eso me toca las narices. Sinceramente. Sí, grabamos. Madre mía, ¿qué hora es? Las 12:15. Venga, vamos a intentar un poquito. a ver si
I'm
reclamamos.
Monami. Once again, seriously, he's like the kid. We were supposed to have a fun friend. No, this definitely. everyone. Do your...
Espérate.
Huh. Did I confuse you?
Man.
If that's the case, it would... If that happened, the imitation would have been...
Well, it's against the rules to kill.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of...
Seriously, just shut...
Deja de decir
But I'm
tonterías.
thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because
Sí,
they
se
didn't
siente
kill
como-
3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's
Sí.
the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Supuestamente.
Even though we're calling it an imitation,
Por
The lion-
flechas, es verdad. Colgado pero por flechas.
but
No tenía
Hyoko's
flechas.
body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Ujú.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate. Well, that's
ser.
probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it
No
was a
fue su intención
half-assed
desde el
imitation,
principio. Ocurrió
their
el
entire
desorden
plan would have
por
been
alguna razón
completely
extraña.
useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
I understand that
Creo que iba a matar a
imitation
Ibuki, no se dio
wasn't
cuenta
love.
y apareció Yoko y entonces mató a Yoko.
Making a bunch of assumptions? It's not just the poor imitation.
Strange details.
Like, for example, what?
So, you're saying
Ese
the
sabemos
truth
por
I
qué
have no
es.
freaking clue what you're...
However,
Fue
this is
porque se lo
getting
dijo Sonia.
quite interesting. By
Sonia, acabas de quedar fuera de duda. No, no eres tú. No fue Sonia. ¿Mm? ¿Hotel Room qué?
Why did Shoko go to the music venue? There's no way he'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
No
If
creo
that's
que
not
la
it.
llamada.
Maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Sí.
she was guided by the will of causality.
Fue por su propia voluntad.
Why did
Hotel.
Shoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it,
Hotel con Rey debe ser, ¿no?
maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
I agree with that.
Es este, ¿ves? Yo lo sabía.
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own
Por
free
eso
will.
llevaba la llave.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Yoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the disparity. I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because
There's no way she got abducted?
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no...
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then
I won't lose.
Pero esta, ¿por qué? No entiendo.
Are you saying my gut was wrong?
Sí, tu intuición está mal.
This could be my first and last highlight. No! Shut up! Enough with...
Joder, la verdad. Como Dios rebutan. Sonia Count. Va a ser
Hyoco
Sonia
was
Count.
locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted, or the killer forced their way into Hyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
Joder, lo que cuesta.
I can't back
romperlo.
down!
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember?
Sí,
It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
sí.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Exactamente.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's box. Her kimono was all messed up. There's only one reason her kimono
Ay,
would be that
se me ha
messed
olvidado
up.
hacerlo de-
She fought the killer. That's
No.
the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all.
Mierda.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up.
Ha cambiado el orden. Antes no decía esa tan rápida. Decía
Hold
otra.
on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Ah, ¿no?
Crap!
No.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko. Her kimono was all. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
¿Cómo que no?
Crap!
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body.
Monitor vídeo.
Her kimono was all messed. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the. That's the proof she was abducted, right?
Sonia Cone, ¿no?
Damn it!
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
Es Sonia.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up.
Mierda, otra vez le he dado donde no era.
Crap!
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Coño, es
Allow
que
me to
está
cut
dando el
through
que no
those
era
words.
antes. Le está poniendo Mikan en vez de Sonia. Y lo que yo quería era el de Sonia, el que le dijo eso. Que le dijo
The
que fuera a
reason
verse al
Hiyoko's
espejo.
kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
No entendía qué estaba pasando, coño.
Where her kimono?
Yeah,
Hiyoko seemed to be.
¿Ves?
I
Se lo dijo
believe
esta.
that was what.
Porque no podía
That was
ponerse
what
el
was
este.
told her.
Sí, sí, esto ya lo sabemos.
Then the reason her kimono.
No, no luchó contra él.
I get it.
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a...
Este tío está
Then,
enfermo, ¿eh?
the killer probably...
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted which.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin.
Kazui, do you want me to incinerate your clothes?
Gundam, please stop! For his.
What do you mean for...
Of course. I've already overlooked no...
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get...
The only thing I can think of is... coincidence. When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation.
Killed Hiyoko.
Because the killer used that coincidence for their
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't play...
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan. Do you?
Damn, we don't know the most important part.
Hey Nagito, any idea?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay? Oh,
No,
Am
no
I
quiere
allowed?
decir nada.
I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Sí.
I thought there might be a possibility that she... But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers. So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death.
You know, we already finished talking about that a while.
That's annoying. I guess I should just...
Are you freaking kidding me?
That's strange.
This is strange.
Sí, es verdad. Si tiene... Eso significa que caminó por ahí. ¿Por qué tiene esto?
I can prove it.
Así es. Pensaba que no, pero sí.
If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Es verdad. Tendría que haber... Solo hay en el lado.
That stepladder was completely clean.
Do you notice such a small detail?
No me jodas. La colgaron. No le dijeron lo de que se matara ella misma, sino que la colgaron.
Didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did. Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see.
But that's something only Hajime would know.
En el vídeo sabemos que había una débil luz.
Hajime, I leave as long as I leave this to you.
Yeah, I'll definitely...
Seleccionar una de estas. O lo de atrás o esto.
Here!
No tiene mancha ahí de sangre.
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely...
Can you explain it?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty. But on one, there was a bloodstain.
Sí.
Right on the left side of the stepladder.
Es el lado que se ve en el vídeo y no se ve
That
en el
contradicts the
vídeo.
There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
Efectivamente.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
Sí, sin sangre.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing
Falsearon el
It's
vídeo.
possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Efectivamente.
Wait, are you saying there were...
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder
Porque
in
no
the...
era desde
One
allí
of the
donde hicieron la
stepladders was
transmisión.
You're suggesting that the stepladder... That's amazing, Chiaki!
Efectivamente. Lo vamos a resolver más rápido que otros, En la conference room. Conference room, seguro que es. Conference... No. Hospital Conference Room, ¿puede ser? No, tiene sentido lo que estoy viendo. Con fe... ¿no? ¿Será la F? Sí. ¿Futaje? Futaje... No, tampoco. ni puta idea de qué puede ser esto, La M no puede ser. Flo. ¿En serio? No, pues no era. La I tiene que ser entonces. Phil, con la L. No puede ser. Film. Es con la M. Pero hay muchas M y no hace tanta trampa. Filming. Necesitamos una N. Y aquí está la N. ¡No! Joder, se ha chocado. Necesito Ges. ¡No choques! Conference. Ahora sí. Filming conference. Ya está. Ah, pues no. Joder, es que hay demasiadas letras, tío. Filming. No sé. L. Joder. Filming location. Joder, tío, ¿en serio? Joder, no da tiempo a quitarlo, tronco. Location. Me falta la O y la N. Mierda. Demasiadas letras malas por todos lados. Ahí está la O. Ya está, joder, que me ha costado, Filming location. Pero es en la conferencia room, tío. ¿Por qué no me has dejado poner conferencia room aunque fuera más?
That's right. Besides, what do you...
Fueron grabadas en otro sitio.
I mean, the video, it was filmed...
But the hospital monitor is supposed to display footage captured by the music venue.
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance.
Joder. La cantidad de puntos que perdí en la mierda esa, Otra vez. Ah, bueno, este está bien. Este me gusta. Joder. Qué rápido estaba eso. Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Pregunta primero. ¿De monitor de cámara? La cámara. Claro. Uy. Checkpoint. Ole, ole, ole. Qué bien. Checkpoint. Pregunta. ¿De hospital? No me jodas. ¿En The Music Venue? ¿Por qué? Ah, coño, es verdad, la cámara. ¿Dónde se grabó? ¿Cuál es la que cambió? La cámara de allí. La había entendido mal la pregunta. Podría hacerlo saltando, pero me mola más hacer vueltas así. Checkpoint. ¡Oh, me he caído! Pensaba que llegaba, tío. Ahí. Checkpoint. Y última pregunta. Se la llevó. No incrementó la señal, simplemente se la llevó. Ya está. Conseguido. ¡Yuhu!
It's all coming together.
A ver.
That's it. The killer just with
Se llevó la
They
cámara,
made me
¿vale?
think it was alive.
Then
Y se le llevó a otro
only
lugar.
Yes, at least but when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer.
That means you should have realized that from the start.
He did discover the body.
Well, that's true. In order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the remaining.
Hizo algo más al monitor que quedaba. ¿Qué le hizo? Lo destruyó.
I see.
Claro, lo destruyó para que nadie...
The killer smashed the monitor. As long as it was in pieces, my attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
Y la destruyó también.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that...
Despite Kazuichi's desperate...
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing.
Sí, estaba transmitiendo en el hospital. El único lugar es la conferencia room. ¿Ahora sí me vas a dejar escribir conferencia room? Sí, ahora sí. Increíble. Este todavía no me hace falta. Voy a tener que destruir la O, porque va a explotar al final. Por esperar. Mira, va a destruirse. Y la F también voy a tener que destruirla al final. Joder. Justo cuando aparece esto, tío. Bien, hay otra O. Ahora necesitamos una N. Tío, estas han aparecido muy rápidas. O sea, han aparecido muy cerca. Eso es peligroso. Me faltan las E. Venga, la E. Una E aquí, bien. B, ahora necesito una R. Aquí. Esta no la necesito. Necesito otra E. Aquí está. B. Necesitamos... ¡Ay, la N la necesitaba y la he roto! ¡Qué gilipollas soy! Pérez... Esta no. Necesito una N. Que no necesito esto. Esta es la que necesito. D. ¡Mierda! ¡Mierda! Necesito R's ahora. ¡No te vayas! Necesito otra O. Tú no te necesito. Quita. Y ahora necesito la M. Aquí está. Pues lo habríamos hecho casi perfecto si no se hubieran chocado letras por ahí que han aparecido aleatorias, tío. Qué rabia me da eso, de verdad. Me da mucha rabia.
Possible that.
Conferencia room, sí.
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly
Pero
why the
por eso hizo ciertas cosas. Puso una cosa del supermarket, la cortina. que estamos terminando ya. Uf, esto no sé. Ah, music.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
No.
Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Esto sí. Esto sí es.
Or did they make some kind of set?
También.
They might have tampered with the camera.
Creo que es la de Sonia.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming locations. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
Pero es tonta. Es la que ha dicho Sonia.
There's no way the conference and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
They might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
Vamos a romper otra vez.
There's no way the and the music venue.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
Es lo que dice
They might
Sonia.
have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe
Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
Rompemos una más y ya lo resolvemos, ¿vale?
There's no way the and the music venue.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
They might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the film.
Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
Ay, he roto demasiado. Vamos a hacerlo ya.
There's no way the and the music venue.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
¿No era este?
Damn it!
¿No es este? Un momento.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Uyujiko,
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
Ah, será este entonces.
Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
They might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming look. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
No entiendo.
There's no way the conference and the music venue.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
Sí, este es. No, al revés.
Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Vale, aquí.
That
joder.
must be it.
Es lo mismo, es set. Pero bueno, lo que dice Sonia con esta parte es que es lo mismo, pero bueno, da igual.
What the killer did make the music venue, the crime scene.
Exactamente.
They did that by using the black curtain.
Esto lo convirtió en un set, es lo que quería decir yo.
There used
¿Ves? Antes se tenía otra
somehow
cortina.
became a plain black.
That's right!
Oh yeah.
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like the conference room?
In actuality, even it is a black light block.
I see. The same color as the music venue stage. So the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor match.
Matching floors, matching curtains.
I guess, but that's not all. There should be something.
¿Hay algo más? Y debe ser eso, ¿qué era? Esto. ¿Qué es esto? Ah, no, es lo de las bolsas. Ah, que parezca la Music Avenue. Vale. O la cuerda. No se me ocurre otra cosa que no se me acuerda. Pero tampoco me acuerdo, entonces ¿qué es? No entiendo. Me queda una cagada más y la he cagado. ¿La cortina negra? ¿Esto?
I can prove it with
Joder,
this.
era la velita, cágate.
You're referring to the candle in the video I saw.
Claro, por lo de las luces.
That might have been another. The lighting in the conference room.
No, voy a guardar aquí porque seguramente tengo muy poca vida y cualquier fallo que cometa ya se va a acabar.
That's why the.
Which means...
That candle
fue
was
usada.
likely placed there just to make...
Además está muy grande la
With
esta del otro
candlelight,
lado.
you can't see things in that much detail with that cheap-ass camera.
As long as this all matches up, it should be. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue. It was actually filmed at the hospital.
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was all... But it appears the killer already covered that up. So I didn't find anything when I...
But there's no mistake. That's the only...
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater is too distinct.
But this
Sí.
must be a. You never suspected that the video you saw in.
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime. It's occurring.
Hay algo que no cuadra, tío.
If Ibuki's hanging video, then was...
No, that's not possible. Right after Hajime saw that video, he discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue.
No, esto.
I
Este era el
see!
fake, no era Ibuki realmente. Era el
The person
asesino.
wearing the hint bag in that...
Era el
It
asesino.
was... The killer put on a hospital
Claro.
gown, wore...
Pretendiendo ser
By
Ibuki.
that time,
The actual time of death must have...
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her,
No da igual lo rápido que corriera porque no iba a conseguir salvarlo. Cayó en la trampa del otro.
But why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video?
The reason the killer made a there's only one possibility I can think of. Then naturally, the killer's identity will reveal itself.
Huh?
You fiend! Are you saying you are...
La única persona que se me ocurre ahora, realmente, y por desgracia, es Mikan, Me da mucha pena, pero la única persona que se me ocurre que sea es Mikan. Mikan o Kazuichi. No lo tengo muy claro, pero creo que es Mikan.
You're the only one! Miko, you're the killer, aren't you? Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hyoko?
Mikan, ¿por qué? Mikan, ¿por qué?
I'm the killer!
Hey, don't you think that's kinda impossible? A chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill her.
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone?
But we're the only one. Thanks to that video, we're the only one.
Qué tristeza, Mikan, tía. ¿En serio ha
An
sido tú?
alibi?
now that you mention it, you guys brought that.
It's just a coincidence!
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference room. Is that also a coincidence? At that time, you said you were going to the on-call room, but you actually went to the conference room. That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance. By doing that, you made up a video that showed
Está escribiendo como lo hizo Ibuki.
and showed
En
that
vez
to
de
me.
rechazar, hizo eso.
Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went...
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Akane and I, were both delirious from the despair disease.
So that must...
Please, wait a second. What are you saying? I'm the killer? That's impossible. There's no way I can kill someone.
It's not literally impossible. Can't you give a better
Qué pena, tío. Qué pena que hayas sido tú.
Just shows she can't
Confiaba
even
en ti,
do that.
pero confiaba mucho en ti, Mikan.
Hey,
Wrong. It's told.
just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean, Mikan is the killer?
I agree. It is truly difficult.
That slow-witted remark is not necessary.
It's fine. I've been like this for a long time. In a tournament for socials punching bags, I'd easily whip an even egg. How many times do I have to tell you? It's impossible.
What are you...
De verdad, yo quiero creer que no es ella, pero es que todo apunta a ella.
Do you still believe this woman is the killer?
Do you hate me that much, Hajime?
Hey, Hajime!
Can you hold on a minute? Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all. I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this.
What are you saying?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the killing. I thought it was suspicious all along. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than...
Tío, dime. Es que... Una de dos. Es que Gundam no creo que sea, pero es que una de dos. O es Mikan o es Soda, tío. Y ninguno de los dos quiero que sea. Qué putada, tío. No me jodas.
Thanks to that,
¿Has descubierto algo que nadie más había visto? A ver, dímelo.
You better not have kept quiet on purpose. This isn't a game.
Actually,
Dino.
please don't say such. Well, what?
Well, it's not
sabes?
big, really. Only a...
Venga, dínoslo, coño.
Let's take a look. Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from.
Sí,
This rope was supplied by the supermarket, right?
supongo que sí, sí.
There weren't any ropes inside the music venue.
Efectivamente.
Again with the supermarket?
If they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new, right?
Claro.
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope. And keep in mind that it's brand new. Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly.
O sea, que ya ha sido usada antes.
But why is it like this? The loop Ibuki used to hang herself is on one end of the rope, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long.
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this.
Ya había usado antes. Ya había sido usado antes.
The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck. Pulled both ends at full strength. The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
Sí, lo utilizó para ahorcarle.
I've been listening to you for a while, and it's... What exactly did you say to me during the investigation?
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and can... Just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki.
And then, I finished speaking.
Pero ¿cómo va a ser tan cabrón?
Huh? You didn't notice it?
Un momento, tuvo que ser alguien con bastante fuerza, por decirlo de alguna forma, ¿no? No entiendo nada, tío, no entiendo nada.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
No tengo ni idea, ¿eh?
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
No, no tiene por qué.
Crap!
Lo siento.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling, the scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was for... Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Tampoco, tío. Voy a morir.
Crap!
Morí. He fallado, tío. He fallado. Todos vamos a morir. No, vamos a ver el no. A lo mejor hay una escena de cómo morimos o algo así. Y así desbloqueo la escena. Ah, no, simplemente es un game over.
Danganronpa.
Pues nada, cargamos desde el momento este y ya está. A ver. A lo mejor es coger lo que ha dicho ella.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling, the scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn?
But we believed it was for... Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
¿Era esto? Es que no creo. Es que no es, tío. Tengo que darle la razón a alguien, pero ¿cómo?
Crap!
Oh, no sé cómo es, tío.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, the scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from... Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
Sí.
That must be it!
Oh, joder. Vale.
So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time. You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it, Mikon?
That is...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You lied, didn't you?
You should have been able to tell the difference between him.
No me jodas, Mika, que entonces sí que eres tú. Y la acabamos de demostrar.
First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical knowledge to identify. That's why it's not my fault
You were right.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and strangulation.
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right.
Mikan nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki?
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her... It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Mikan because she...
So Mikan volunteered to nurse us? Because she was planning to do...
That's a little...
No creo. Es que
Aren't you
I'm not a criminal. Mikan is. I mean...
You've got it all wrong. Please forgive me.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not, we still...
I see. Well, if that's the choice everyone...
Es que no hay otra persona que pueda haber sido.
But is that really okay? Is that everyone's hope?
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep talking, I'm seriously gonna beat you up!
There's no way.
Is that really true?
Stop it already!
I can't stop. I don't want to do this either. Of course.
Pues yo
But
tampoco
I
quiero que
need
sea
to-
así, pero es que parece que es así. Ha sido Mikan.
I suspect them because I...
What the... I don't...
Huh?
I do doubt her. But I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause...
Don't say D.
If you want to believe in someone, you need... Belief without doubt is
Es
simply...
una mentira, claro.
Fine. Do whatever you want.
Huh? Is that all you can say? Ah, so in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, justifying your actions
¿Cómo ha cambiado su
with
actitud de
fancy
repente?
words, making excuses for why it's not really your fault. Everyone always treats me like that. It's all her fault. I'm done with that! You hear me? I'm done!
Se ha vuelto loca.
It's not fair. It's not fair. Not fair. Not fair.
Madre mía.
Not fair. Not fair.
Llegó a
Not
su
fair.
límite
Not
y a
fair.
partir
Not
de ahí...
fair. Not fair. Not fair. Why won't you forgive me? If you did something, you'd forgive yourself right away. What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
Is acting like this your strategy now? This is plus,
Ya está.
to be honest.
If we don't have any clues,
Ya está. Ella misma se acaba de delatar. Se acaba de delatar.
I'm the same as Hajime. But still, the truth is that's why we gotta stick with this and... Hey, Mikan,
¿Te puedo preguntar una cosa? Si no es asesino, ¿quién fabricó el vídeo que está aquí en
Like
medio?
I said,
can you
No
prove
fue
it?
yo. ¿Lo puedes probar? ¿Probarlo?
do you have an...
¿Alguna prueba de que ella no probó?
That's right! Because you're just treating me like a killer. That's totally cool. Why does everybody always hate me?
Is this broad really okay?
Está...
I'm
Joder.
not the killer.
It's you. But the only one who can find the hole in her argument is you, Hajime. So, I'm go-
Creo que Chiaki, cuando se ha enterado que he dormido con ella, o que ella se ha dormido conmigo, lo que sea, que ha ocurrido 2 veces, por cierto, ha dicho: sé que tienes razón, Hajime, pero sal tú de esta mierda. Demuéstrame que eres tú el que va a ir en contra de Mikan, ¿sabes? Porque necesito una prueba de que estás conmigo, Hajime. Yo creo que es algo así. Ay.
Why do you get to decide I'm the killer? Where's your proof? Please!
A ver. Soy el único que puede parar esto, a ver cómo lo hago. Porque no tengo ni idea de lo que viene ahora. ¡Ah! Es lo de... Ah, no. Pensaba que era lo de chocar contra ella. Va a ser lo de la temperatura, ¿verdad? Va a ser lo de la temperatura. Es la única que sabe.
We can't think of anybody else other than you. Who could have filmed that video?
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
No soy el asesino.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof?
¿Alguna prueba?
Is the handbag on her head the proof?
¿La bolsa en la cabeza?
Is the hospital gown she was wearing
¿De hospital
suspicious?
gown? ¿La esta que
Or
está
could it be the
llevando?
hospital slippers she had?
¿Las zapatillas? Podría ser las zapatillas.
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown?
Hospital body, ¿no?
Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
Esa luz tan débil.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
Mikan account.
You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Mierda, no me deja coger el este. Un momento. Mikan account. No lo tengo tan claro, ¿eh? Y el problema es que en cuanto falle, he fallado. Se
We
va la
can't think
mierda
of
todo.
anybody else other who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Este yo creo
Ibuki
que
and
es.
Mikan clearly have different body.
Is that really your? You could tell her body type under the hospital just from that camera angle, just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already.
Hajime, pay close attention. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
No tengo ni idea, ¿eh?
I'm not the killer.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any? Is the handbag on her head the
No.
proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing?
No.
Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
¿Será esto? No. No sé cuál es, tío.
Damn it!
Mierda, otra vez, he fallado. Venga, quita todo esto que ya lo sabemos. Joder. Venga, vamos a cargar de nuevo la partida. Creo que es el error. Es que no sé cuál es, tío. Tenemos Blood on the Souls, ¿puede ser esto?
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof?
A ver, un momento.
Is the hospital?
No, eso no. Voy a pararlo para traducir una palabra, ¿eh?
Or could it be the hospital slippers?
Slippers. Slippers es zapatillas, ¿verdad? Slippers. Dime que son zapatillas, porque entonces significa que son esas. Slippers. Zapatillas. Ya está. Es eso seguro. Es eso, tío. Es eso. ¡No! Joder. No quiero estar estar aquí 2 horas. Vamos a buscarlo, tío. Vamos a mirarlo para mirarlo rápidamente y ya está. Vale. Ya sé lo que es, pero no es una cosa que me hubiera imaginado nunca. Vamos a darle a Retri porque la he cagado, ¿vale?
We will never give up.
Me dan toda la vida y me va a contar muy negativo. Me va a contar muy negativo en los puntos, pero es que como la he cagado... Vamos a hacerlo así. Lo bueno, que habré matado muchos ruidos blancos al menos.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clip.
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital just from that camera angle.
Es este. Pero es con lo que
Just from that dim
dice...
candlelight.
Con lo que dice Chiaki.
There's no way you'd be able to. So please forgive me already. Hajime, pay close attention and listen. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Vale, vamos.
I'm not the killer.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan.
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown
No.
just from that
Aquí
camera
estás.
angle.
I'll shoot through that contradiction. Mikan, you've committed a...
Y vamos a guardar aquí. Ya debe quedar poco. Que vamos.
As I said before many times, I'm the only one who saw that video.
¿Por eso es el error? Porque ella como sabía el ángulo, ¿no?
Never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera angle as if you saw that video yourself? The
Está
only
tan
reason, Mikan, is because you're the person who actually...
This is your just reward. The more desperately you are, you
La has metido tú
lied.
misma en el hoyo.
Didn't you?
Tú mentiste, ¿verdad?
Is
¿Estás,
it
¿Es
true,
en serio?
Mikan?
Mika, ¿has sido tú?
Huh?
¿Qué pasa?
I was wrong.
That's not it.
I mean, it's impossible.
Como que es
You know
imposible.
that handbag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Try remembering the tote. Ding!
What the heck's wrong with her?
That tote bag. Isn't it the same one?
How do you know so much about that?
More importantly, did you know that
Ahora tengo que darle lo que dijo Morokuma, quedaban 2.
Oopsie! Ta-da!
Se piensa que ella que es la única que lo sabe, pero no es verdad.
Tote bag in both the it's blatantly obvious. That's why that video isn't fabricated. And I'm not the killer. So you'll forgive
Taking your stubbornness.
Then you're gonna forgive
Acabas
me.
de decir una tontería tan grande, chavala. Te hemos pillado. ¡Oh! Ahora tenemos balas. Usando X para recargar, vale. Hostia, esto va a ser difícil, ¿eh?
I'll keep explaining it.
Vamos a guardar porque esto tiene pinta de que va a ser difícil. Sí, hay que ir recargando.
This check. Will you forgive me? You'll
Ya está, ya he perdido toda la confianza que tenía en ti. Y te voy a hacer admitir que tú fuiste el asesino.
You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please,
Me quedan 3
draw on
balas.
me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already?
Tengo que ir recargando, tío, que se me olvida.
Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want.
You're done for!
Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me?
Joder.
I'll do anything you want.
Cuando no se ve, no soy capaz de...
Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me.
Vale, lo he conseguido.
There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in
Bonus
two
praise.
places at the same time.
Bonus Dirty Price. Lo he hecho mal.
Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? There's only one bag.
Bonus.
It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
Bonus Price tier... No, otra vez lo he hecho mal, espérate. No sé cómo se hace eso. Bonus Price. Tier Bonus Price. ¿No? Tier Bonus Price o Tier Bonus Price. Bonus Price es lo último.
I'll do anything you want.
Ay, mierda, no
Can
me
you
quedan...
forgive me already? I'll do anything you want.
You're done for!
Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me?
Vale.
There's only one bag. It's
Tier
impossible to use it in
bonus
two
price.
places at the same time.
This is the end!
Bien, coño, por fin. Joder, cómo ha costado. La madre del cordero.
Monokuma mentioned...
Lo mencionó antes. Sí.
Whoever bought that bag should have received another one, which means it's not impossible to...
¿Ves? Va a tocar ya hacer el cómic, creo yo, ya se va a acabar.
So please... It seems...
Why does everybody always...
Mika,
No te vamos a perdonar porque eres una asesina.
after I go over your crime from the beginning, please, just admit it already.
Closing arguments. Venga, lo de rellenar el cómic, que está divertido eso. A ver qué opciones tengo. Esto no parece nada de aquí. Corría hasta esto. Que no parece nada de esto. Rompió el stick, que está aquí. Este no puede ser entonces. Este sí. Lo de la cabeza lo tiene que haber hecho antes para hacer el vídeo. No, o quitársela. Aquí, se la quitó. Vale. Y me queda Hiyoko, que estaba... Esta imagen y esta ya está. O sea, que tiene que ser esto. Que es cuando rompe la cámara. Black. Aquí. Perfecto. Vamos, siguientes. Ah, ¿ya está? ¿Tan rápido? Vale, entonces este debe ser lo que estaba viendo. Ah, no puede ser, las stock. ¿Esto es lo que estaba viendo? Ah, pues sí, parecía diferente. Y me quedan dos. Que es quitando esto para descubrir a esta. Y esto que se quedó arriba. Ya está, se acabó.
Here's everything that happened in this case. The key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that... Oh, that's why I'm going to
Este era
start with
mucho más
that.
corto que otros, Los otros
When I
tenían
went to
muchas
the
más imágenes.
hospital with Mikon this morning, I noticed a specific incoming signal light
vio
on
que
the
estaba
surveillance.
eso brillando, o sea que había una transmisión en directo, entonces le di al botón para verla. Y vio que estaba subiendo ahí alguien
When I
a
switched on the
suicidarse.
monitor, a person wearing a hospital gown
Lo
and a
cual
bag on their head
le
about
asustó mucho y en ese momento fue corriendo a ver qué había
that surveillance
pasado.
camera unit was
Menos
designed
mal que
for
dice lo
two-way
de correr, porque
communication
sale
with the
como corriendo
hospital
aquí.
and the
Hubiera
music
sido muy
video.
raro que hubiera ido andando.
That's why I thought the signal originated from the music video.
Claro, y corría hacia allí.
But that was the
Mientras te
killer's...
salió del
In truth,
escenario.
that video was recorded in a different place.
Claro.
The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance.
Claro.
And then, they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time, when in fact, the crime had already been committed by them. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake.
Claro.
know that, so I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a bag on its head.
Sí. Voy a avisar a
Seeing
los
the body
demás.
before me, I
Claro.
but
Después
that
de
was
haberlo
all
colgado,
after
fui
clearing
a... y caí en la trampa.
began, as if they were switching places with and began
Claro.
working on their last trip.
Entonces cogió, desenvolvió a Yoko.
First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage. When I first
Dejando
arrived
un
and saw
trocito
the
de
hanged
papel
body,
arriba.
I didn't expect it to be
Y luego rompió las
Next,
cámaras.
the killer destroyed the After destroying it, they mixed it with what was the surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video. When they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor beforehand. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene.
Claro. Luego rompió una
In the
batuta
end,
para que pensaran
the
que habían
killer
cerrado desde
they broke one
dentro
of the. However, they did this.
y pegó las puertas.
In actuality, the killer sealed the door with glue. With
Luego se
that,
los contó
the
a todo el
killer
mundo.
finished tampering with the. They
Abrieron
helped us
la
force
puerta.
open the music,
Y se encontraron todo el escenario.
and they made us discover not at the time. Inside, they were probably. Isn't that right, Mikan? This crime.
Fuiste tú, Mikan. Joder, Mikan, yo confiaba en ti. Y eres una imbécil. Te tenía como alguien... como una víctima, pero luego buena. Pero en realidad es una víctima y una idiota.
Whoa!
This feeling, I know it well. This feeling of despair!
¿Qué
Mikan,
dice esta?
Whoa there! Before that, a moment of...
¿Qué vas a decir tú ahora? Ah, no, sí, ya se acabó. Mira, el 50 puntos es el que hemos tenido que hacer un retry, seguro. Puño, hemos tenido varios mal, ¿eh? Uno con un 40, qué mal, qué mal. Ah, no, si nos han dado 91 monedas, no está nada
It
mal.
seems your arguments have reached a conclusion. Now then, who will be chosen as the
Venga,
killer?
elegimos a Mikan ya. Bueno, pues vamos a ver la ejecución y después grabaremos y ya se acabó, ¿eh? Que ya llevamos mucho rato de directo. Maldita. Confiaba en ti, desgracia.
Well now. Correct.
damn it.
Tienes que estar bromeándome. Mikan, la enfermera que nos devolvió la salud, fue la que se
I
las
won't
asesinó a ellas.
forgive you.
¿Por qué? Es que no entiendo. Está loca ya. Está loca ya. Ya se le ha ido la cabeza totalmente.
Hey, hey.
Se le ha
That's
ido.
obvious.
Ya no es la misma persona. Ya no es la Mikan Tsukimi que conocíamos.
Hey,
¿Ella también tenía la enfermedad de la desesperación?
what? I... What?
En vez de curar a la gente, quería matarla. Porque se enfermó. Y cuando durmió conmigo no lo noté, que estaba muy caliente.
It cannot be.
Perhaps... See? Jeez. Isn't that right?
Se le ha ido la perla completamente.
Possible.
Este tío es imbécil también.
Huh?
What I did was for the sake of my beloved.
Lo hice por el bien de mi amado.
Huh?
¿De qué está hablando? Si ellos solo estuvieran vivos, estarían tan feliz. Lo sé.
My
Se le ha ido.
beloved was the
El único.
only one
El único que nunca me ha odiado. Quien perdonó mi existencia. Quien me perdonó y me aceptó. Quien me dio valor. Él me amaba. Lo amaba con todo mi corazón. Y ellos me lo devolvieron. Era recíproco, ¿no?
It's love.
Hey,
Ah, porque no tienes a nadie a quien amar. ¿Es porque tú eres alguien que no ha sido aceptado por nadie? Ah, qué tontería, ¿no? Me siento mal por ti. Qué desgraciado, ¿no?
Well,
Incluso digo esto, estoy seguro que nadie aquí lo entendería, pero el amor es una cosa maravillosa. Este sentimiento de libertad, de no...
how amazing.
Joder, se ha vuelto loca con lo del amor ese, pero ¿el amor de quién?
Could it be?
this is...
No solo ella está afectada por eso. ¡Ah! Gracias a la enfermedad fue capaz de recordar a su amado. No era de hacer lo contrario, sino de hacer... de recordar la enfermedad del recuerdo.
Such despair.
¿Tú eres así antes de venir a esta isla? No te enfades tanto. Bueno, primero de todo, la razón por la que vine, la que me volví así, no fue mi culpa. Fue vuestra culpa, ¿sabéis? Porque... por las relaciones humanas. Es la culpa de todo el mundo que me volviera de esta forma, ¿ves? ¿Su amado le convirtió? No entiendo muy bien esto. Esta es la diferencia entre tú y mi amado. Entre vosotros y mi amados. ¿De qué estás hablando? ¿Va a decir algo del pasado? ¿Volviste así por todo lo que recordaste? No hay forma de que pueda creerme eso. No hay forma de que la persona que tú eres ahora mismo sea la Mika real. Ah, ¿todavía lo dudas? Entonces tendré que demostrártelo, demostrarte que he recordado. Te diré algo simpático. La organización Wender, de la que os estáis preocupando tanto, ¿lo sabes? No lo sé, lo he recordado, eso es todo. Lo he sabido siempre. Esa horrible organización conocida como Wender es la organización conocida como la Fundación del Futuro. Ah, lo que ponía, el símbolo que ponía.
Hey,
O sea, como dice el nombre, es para acabar con el mundo. La organización del futuro está tratando de destruir el mundo. Y quieren coger el mundo como ellos mismos, ¿no? O sea, quieren reclamar el mundo como propio. Como plan para acabar con el mundo nos trajeron a esta isla. ¿Es cierto, Monomi? Lo sabía, Monomi, Monokuma. Todos son miembros de esa puñetera organización, ¿verdad?
I am Monokuma!
No somos miembros. Mi existencia es por mi propia.
hey,
No te rías. Si tú lo recuerdas, tú lo sabrás ahora, ¿verdad? ¿Verdad? Sabrás la identidad del traidor entre nosotros. Por supuesto que lo sé.
Oh,
Ah, lo sabe, pero no lo va a decir.
of course not.
Lo descubriréis en cualquier momento, ¿no? Como quien dice, no hay necesidad de ser impacientes. Probablemente cuando la cuenta atrás acabe. ¿La cuenta atrás?
oh,
Ah, no lo sabe. Dice, a lo mejor lo sabe, ¿no? Me estoy ahogando en tanto amor. Desde el fondo de mi corazón. No me importa ya nada ni nadie. No podemos creernos que ella sea así, de verdad. ¿Quién es la persona con la que hemos estado pasando tiempo hasta ahora? El pasado. ¿Pasado? Esa persona no existía desde el principio. Ella es solo mi propio pasado que perdió sus memorias. Vosotros considerando eso, se ríe de que nosotros consideremos eso una amiga. Eso no me hace feliz para nada. Solo me llena de desesperación. Solo aceptasteis mi pasado, pero no mi presente. Eso se aplica también para vosotros. Las memorias de la gente, la memoria de los eventos, lo que quiera que sea la memoria, ¿no? Perder las memorias es como perder vuestra verdadera personalidad. La memoria es lo más importante para construir una persona. ¿No lo sabías? Perder vuestras memorias os hace sombras del pasado. ¿No lo creéis? No entiendo, no sé lo que quiere decir, lo que intenta decir, pero al final siempre vuelve a la misma historia, ¿no? La historia de que nos han robado nuestras vidas escolares. Si esto ha sido verdad en nuestras memorias... O sea, si esto ha sido verdad, nos han robado las memorias, ¿verdad? Si no es verdad, no estaríamos sufriendo tanto. ¿Por qué vosotros no os tomáis vuestro dulce tiempo y recordáis por vuestra paz?
Yes, indeed.
Ella misma dice que la castiguen. Es entendido, es demasiado.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Joder.
So it's over.
Sí que se acabó.
Now I
Realmente,
can go to my beloved,
ahora puedo ir
who
con mi amado,
always
quien
forgives me.
siempre me
I
perdonaba.
can finally see them.
Finalmente puedo verle.
Please forgive
Podré
me.
verle.
The one
favor,
who's going
perdonarme.
to die with the hope of finally seeing you.
Aquella que va a morir con la esperanza de por finalmente
Give it
verte.
everything we've got.
Madre mía. Esto significa que cualquiera de nosotros realmente puede ser un hijo de perra. Y yo empiezo a sospechar sobre el prota, porque el prota estaba como muy quemado de su vida escolar, porque ha venido ese flashback ahí de repente y joder. Bueno, Mikan. Estás en la cama de un hospital, parece que estás encerrada. Bye bye, Uchis. A ver qué coño es esto, ¿Le va a inyectar algo? What the fuck? Se ha caído antes de llegar, ¿no? What? ¿Se ha montado en una mano gigante? Ah, está... What the fuck? Está hinchando la mano, no a ella. Ah, es un cohete. What the fuck es esto, tío? Vaya ejecución más rara. Joder. Fanservice hasta en la ejecución de esta, enseñando el curillo y tal. Monokuma cae y ella la ha enviado al infinito y ya está. O sea, no sabemos si realmente ha muerto, Aunque supongo que sí. Ha sido ejecutada. Cometió el crimen porque está afectada por la enfermedad, así que se acabó. Nadie quiere acabar de esta forma.
Let me ask.
¿Quién era la Mikan de antes? ¿Era su verdadera naturaleza, por decirlo de alguna forma? ¿O fue un síntoma de la enfermedad? No importa, de cualquier manera. Ella acabó así solo por recordar. En todo este tiempo, ella nunca fue un símbolo de la esperanza. Incluso si las palabras son influenciadas por la enfermedad de la desesperanza, si la enfermedad la volvió así, ella se perdió a sí misma en una simple enfermedad. Ella era... Joder, este tío es gilipollas. Odio cuando habla, de verdad. Cambiamos la desesperanza, no, es imposible. Yo creía que éramos amigas todo este tiempo, pero incluso así...
Wrong.
Dice, hubiera sido más fácil si ella fuera la traidora, pero no es el caso. No es la traidora. El traidor sigue vivo. Y como prueba, mirad cómo de bien parece Monomi ahora. No estoy bien para nada. Pero si el traidor ha muerto, no estaría escaneada, ¿verdad? Quiero decir, vosotros ambos sois partes de la Fundación del Futuro.
You fiend.
Que tú eres diferente de Monomi.
Hey! Hey!
Hey,
Ha preparado un evento especial. ¿Un antiguo amigo? Nekomaru.
Hey!
Nekomaru estaba vivo de...
So just as I thought.
Desde nuestro amigo ha muerto, ¿sabes? No puedo estar feliz de todas maneras.
However,
Sin embargo... incluso sí estoy feliz de que Nekomaru esté salvo. Verdaderamente feliz por él, ¿no? Como dice. Están diciendo chorradas de que les perdonen las fallecidas porque están felices de que haya vuelto el otro. Y esta llora porque Nekomaru está bien. Vamos a la playa a ver cómo está Nekomaru, ¿no?
Uh-oh.
Ellos han corrido fuera sin esperar lo que quería decirles.
Unbelievable.
Qué impacientes son. Ellos no aprenden a estar esperando hasta que terminen de hablar. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Estás tramando algo, ¿verdad?
No way.
No estoy tramando nada. Solo estaba intentando decir una explicación propia, una explicación bien de todos a ellos. Sobre todo sobre el cuerpo de Nekomaru. El cuerpo de Nekomaru. Es su culpa por no quedarse aquí hasta que termine de hablar. Si algo pasa por ello, yo no tengo la culpa. ¿Qué le has hecho a Nekomaru? ¿Qué le he hecho? Solo le he salvado, eso es todo. Quiero decir, no es como si hubiera hecho eso. No hay manera de que hubiera salvado a alguien tan cerca de la muerte solo porque no podía evitarlo. Madre mía, que vamos a ver en Nekomaru. Tengo miedo, Hay que correr a la isla 1. Mierda, quiero parar ya. Pero no para, está muy emocionante. A ver, Nekomaru. Ay, Dios santo, Nekomaru. ¿Qué habrá pasado?
Hey.
Vale, vamos a pararlo aquí. Ya en el siguiente vídeo lo vemos. Vamos a pararlo aquí y dejamos la emoción para el siguiente directo. Y el siguiente capítulo y el siguiente de todo. Lo siento, chicos. Aquí se queda. Lo veremos en el próximo episodio. ¡Chao, pescado!